Like, I don't want to feel like I'm selling you something because I'm not. I'm not getting any commission on any of this. Like, no one's making me say this. Club de Nuit, Intense Man. Take a look at that piano finish. It gives me PlayStation 4 vibes right there. This fragrance right here is one of the most popular ones on Reddit and Fragrantica. This fragrance is constantly recommended as a masculine fragrance. It's a club, outgoing, everyday kind of fragrance. I was interested in it because I saw it recommended so many times on Reddit, on Fragrantica, etc., etc. This is one of the top ones with Liam Gray and Vintage Radio as one of the ones I see the most popping up in comments. So this became something that was instantly on my radar. The only thing that stopped me from getting it almost immediately is because it's like a man's fragrance and not necessarily a sweet fragrance, which is what I tend to gravitate towards. So first, let's do a sniff test. Let's spray it. It's an aggressive atomizer. So off the top, a little bit of apple, a little bit of citrus. No, a little bit of apple, a lot of citrus. That's all I'm getting is a lot of citrus. I'm gonna let it dry down, but let's talk about notes. Top notes for this are lemon, blackcurrant, apple, bergamot, and pineapple. So the top is all fruity notes. The middle notes are rose, birch, and jasmine. And then the base notes are musk, ambergris, patchouli, and vanilla. I find it very interesting that it's divided like that. It looks like the top notes are all fruity notes, the middle notes are all herbally and floral notes, and then the base notes are all creamy slash sweet notes. So it's kind of dividing everything into like different sections and trying to create an experience. So far you get what you expect when you first spray it, which is that citrus hit. If you put a bunch of fruits together and you put lemon juice on top, what will become dominant in smell would immediately be the citrus. Citrus kind of overpowers any other smell when you have a lot of fruits together. And that's basically what I got at the beginning, citrus, but it's already starting to dry down and other things are starting to come through. I'm getting a little bit of, I would say a little bit of pineapple, maybe a little bit of apple, maybe. I'm not really getting blackcurrant. I'm just getting like other tart scents that are complementing that lemon. This fragrance is supposed to be inspired by Creed Aventus. I currently don't have Creed Aventus to compare it to. I'm gonna get a decant of it, and once I do, I'll do a comparison of it and let you know how close in similarity though this one is to Creed Aventus. This hasn't really macerated that long. I've only had this for maybe 3 weeks, so this still needs some time to develop, to grow. When you first spray this, you immediately think it's going to be a projecting powerhouse because it immediately gives a strong citrus fruity scent that projects out, and it kind of feels like it's hitting about 6 feet, 5 to 6 feet out. But in about 2 hours, that projection bubble kind of reduces to about 3 to 4 feet. And then after 4 hours, it becomes a very intimate bubble. This is not a projecting powerhouse. So if you're expecting this to be a huge performer, unfortunately it isn't. I suggest you bring a ferro sprayer with this because this will definitely need a respray at around the 4-hour mark. This fragrance is immensely popular on Fragrantica. It has a 4.14 out of 5 with 18,300 votes. That's a lot of votes. In terms of positives on Fragrantica, people are saying that this is not expensive and it gives you a very great alternative to the high-end fragrance that is Creed Aventus. Creed Aventus is about maybe 10 times more than this is. So this is definitely worth the price in terms of return on investment. If this smells about a 10th as good as Creed Aventus, it's worth the money. And it definitely does smell really good. People online praised the longevity of this. I personally thought it was a moderate performer. People thought it was a pretty good performer and didn't need reapplication. Like I said, I think it needs one at around 4 hours. But like I also said, this isn't macerated yet. This hasn't spent that much time like brewing. This might become a powerhouse after a certain amount of time. Time will tell with that. This was also praised quite considerably for its versatility. This could be used at work or in a date, night, day, winter, summer. This seems to be like a very well-rounded scent that could be used in different applications. In terms of negatives on Fragrantica, the top 2 negatives are people didn't love the fact that it was very harsh when you first spray it. Like I told you, there's a huge hit of lemon that kind of comes off as synthetic, more like lemon drop candy rather than lemon. people seem to think that this is too close to other fragrances, so it's not really super unique. On Reddit, people praise it for different reasons. On Reddit, people are praising it mostly for its performance. Again, different for me, but again, this needs time. People also say that it's a compliment getter, that this is one of the fragrances that will immediately get you compliments, and that this is an affordable option to something more expensive. Again, same thing, same deal, good return on investment. It's a wise investment. The negative on Reddit is basically that this is way too overhyped. Everybody talks about it like it's a second coming and that it's way too popular. And unfortunately, due to the fact that it's so popular, it kind of becomes kind of commonplace. That's an unfortunate issue with fragrances. If everybody likes it, then it doesn't become unique. It doesn't become niche. It becomes something like everybody's wearing it. That's a problem with things like Dior Sauvage and other things like that, that everybody knows what it smells like. So it kind of feels less special when everybody knows about it. One thing that is mentioned in both Fragrantica and Reddit is that apparently this has batch issues. So some batches might be better than other batches, and some batches might have defects that affect its longevity, its scent, and other things. So some have pointed out that this is inconsistent in terms of its production. So watch out for that. I might have a batch that might not be a good protector. You might have a batch that's good. But again, I just think it's maceration. Overall, the feedback on Reddit and on Fragrantica have all been pretty positive. No one's really negative about this. It's mostly, all the negative stuff are generally just nitpicks more than anything else. So I've let this rest for a little bit, and now I'm smelling it again. And the fruity notes are still there. The citrus has died down a bit. The citrus has chilled quite a bit now. And I'm getting more, I think I'm getting more of the pineapple and blackcurrant a little bit. I think pineapple more than anything else. A little bit pineapple. Yeah, I can't decide if it's pineapple or blackcurrant. I think it's more pineapple with a little bit of blackcurrant in the background. Like it's a jam kind of a smell. Yeah, a little bit of pineapple jam type of thing. Because it's a sweet pineapple. It's not like a real pineapple. And there's some woody notes there. I don't really get flowery from this. I don't get really jasmine, rose, or anything like that. I get some woodiness and I get some vanilla and warmness from this. So essentially, I would think about this like a creamy, woody, fruity scent. It is pretty mass appealing, but even now when I'm smelling it, I can already tell that the scent is kind of muting a little bit. The projection is immediately like chilling down. You can almost tell when a scent hasn't macerated enough because the notes aren't as bright as they should be. I like the scent a lot, mainly because of that fruitiness, mainly because of that freshness. It feels, this is a very fresh scent. This is a very appealing scent. It's a very attractive scent. I think this is and this is also a massive compliment getter. I was minding my own business in my house and my sister-in-law passed by me and she turned around and she said, "You smell amazing. What are you wearing?" So other people have also made comments about this fragrance specifically, about how good it smells. And people have gotten used to the fact that I'm switching fragrances a lot. So a lot of people have stopped commenting on my fragrances. They're basically like not really making comments about it. Like, "Oh, Victor smells like something different today." People making comments is like uncommon now. And the fact that someone made a comment about how good this smells is unique. So this is definitely a compliment getter. So I would give this 9 out of 10. This is a great scent. This is just sweet enough to appeal to me. This is also complex enough to make it something that I'm interested in smelling more often. And this is something that attracts my attention. The only thing that keeps me from like completely intensely loving this is the fact that the projection really isn't there yet and the longevity isn't really there yet. I think once this matures a little bit more and it becomes a little bit more powerful and stays a little bit longer, I'm definitely going to bump this up to a 10 out of 10 because this is a great scent. This is something that is definitely mass appealing. This is something that is definitely very versatile. It can be used in different situations. It's a great investment. It's so cheap compared to the Creative Ventus and it smells so good. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm selling you something because I'm not getting any commission on any of this. Like, no one's making me say this, but if you don't want it, don't buy it. These are good. This is good. So my opinion, great scent. If this is something that you're interested in, if you're interested in something that's a little bit more well-rounded, a little more versatile, that you can use in different applications and as a compliment getter, this is definitely something that you would be interested in. That was my thoughts on Club de Nuit Intense Men by Armaf. Let me know what you think. Did you agree with me on this? Give me your opinions, write some comments. Just remember to always smell your best. See ya.